What's going on, y'all? I'm Carlton,
And I'm Money.
and this is Stand On at 8736.
736. Okay, so what we're gonna be doing here, we're gonna be interviewing all the moms that's impacted our lives over the years.
Hi, Mama.
Yep, we're gonna call this Mama Thoughts.
Mama thought. Till then, just sit back, watch what we got going on. I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. How you doing for one?
I am fantastic. I'm doing good today.
That's good. You look fantastic. Got the hair slicked back a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Now you heard about the show, about
Yes,
with
I
me
did.
and your son, my brother,
Yeah.
is starting. What do you think about it so far from what you heard?
Well, from what I heard and from what I've seen, I've subscribed,
Mm-hmm.
and
Do
I
the same.
really like the fact that you guys are focusing on getting some information and putting it out there for the public. Basically, going from one end to the other, like the beginning, like when I was younger, and just providing some feedback on how life is now compared to how life was then. So I'm pretty excited about that. I like to be able to share, and I like to know that young people are sharing what they feel, and they're sharing what's going on with them too.
Right.
Because a lot of times the information we as elders and matriarchs can provide information that could help that young person build a foundation.
That's yeah. See, that's basically what we on is we want to give out what we know and take in what you know. So sliding into that, you growing up, how was it for you? Growing up, like I know this, we ain't gonna say how long ago, but it was
Yeah.
some time ago. As you
Yes, it
people
was.
say, some time ago.
Yes.
But how was it growing up? Was it like rough or?
Well, with me, because I am the matriarch, as you know, I
Yeah.
am the matriarch in this family here. However, when my children were growing up, it was a lot closer knit. We were more vocal.
Right.
And my mom, I chose to be a little bit different from her, but not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
She was authoritarian.
Yeah.
I stood in those shoes, but I did bend a little. However, I still came from those grassroots that said a child
Mm-hmm.
has, if they have bad behavior, we have to deal with it. I did not have that problem.
Right.
My children, they were very, very easy to deal with because I had that eye.
You had that
I
eye,
could
that's
give
that
them
mama
that
eye, that mama eye. More get your butt on.
Put that eye over there.
Ain't even gotta say nothing though.
Everybody would bend and cry when they see that eye. So
Right.
I was really good. But however, when I was growing up as a child, my mom, by her being authoritarian and by her being a mother in a household where she was a mother and a father, it was very tough. Things was very different.
Right.
There was five of us in a two-bedroom house.
Right.
And we all learned to share. We all learned to respect.
Right.
We all learned to say yes ma'am and no ma'am. Even now, if my mother was alive,
Right.
we would use that respectful tone. However, with young people now, they think it's okay to slide a little cuss words in there. Me, myself, coming from that era, I don't think that's nice. I think
Okay.
it's disrespectful.
Right.
I think when children approach older people, even adults, just the medium there in the 30s and 40s and 50s, there should be a respect method used to even just to talk, to even just put your feelings out there. Children, I think they should have.
Right.
I honestly think that they should have a voice.
Yep.
However, that voice should not be cursing. That voice should not be disrespectful. And that voice should not be, I hate you because I can't get what I want. And my kids growing up, I used to think spoiling my kids was that, hey, so and so want this box of cereal. Let's get this box instead of that one, and you guys can help him eat out of it. So now, growing up, these children here now, they're like, oh, I need to have my PS5, and I need to have my $180 shoes. I'm bad. I'm bad. I'm not gonna say anything because I'm raising my grandson, and my grandson basically takes me to the cleaners.
So what you saying is, it's a different spoiling way, from then to now.
Yes, of course it is.
Okay.
Because then what we consider spoiling our children is if we let them have an extra apple or some ice cream on Fridays. Be good on Fridays. You're gonna get ice cream. Those kids was gonna be tip top. They're gonna clean. They're gonna pick up. They're gonna do everything how they do,
Right.
and they're gonna go to school.
So what would be your advice for raising kids in this era?
Now I think parents, because they're not allowed to actually discipline their children.
Okay.
Society and their norms has changed.
Yeah.
The government is involved in how children are raised now.
Yeah.
They've got their books of do's and don'ts.
Right.
This is why the leadership from families has dropped drastically.
Right.
Parents are not allowed to have that voice with their children. If they do, the kid can go back to school and say, "My mom said this and that to me," and the next thing you know, you got DHS knocking at your door. What I would say, it is right now, parents have got to stand up. You have got to take back control. Start teaching those children the importance. Education is important. We fought hard. And we fought hard. We fought hard when we were raising our children. There was no book. There was no how-to manual. We depended upon our parents to provide us with the tools as we were growing up. And we turned around and we used those same tools while we were raising our children then. Now we're in an era where electronics
Right. Yeah.
play a big part. Children don't go outside to play anymore.
Mm-mm.
Children now, they don't sit in the house. If you find a family having a dinner, it is very odd to find a family in its entirety at a table. Whereas here, and when I was growing up, and then when my children were growing up,
I had to sit at the table.
we had a dinner time, and everybody had to be accounted for. You didn't have a cell phone,
Right. No.
and you didn't interrupt me when I was talking either,
No.
because that was an important
Yeah.
thing to know. Respect is due. This is
Mhm.
what has happened. Children now, it is not their fault completely, because as parents, we're taking yes way farther than this should go.
And on that note, listen, we need to start telling them no. Okay. From my mama to everybody's mama, start telling them no. But on another note, if you look at your son's progress, all of your kids' progress, especially my co-host, my guy, my buddy, how would you say he came along? He a strong individual? Because I know growing up, looking up to him, actually, he's a strong individual.
Yes,
So
he
how would you talk about your son progress?
When I look at my son, all of my sons, and trust me, I said no. We bumped heads.
Right.
And when we bumped heads, I always let them know, if you talk back to me, I'm gonna take you to your daddy. You know
Right.
what's gonna happen then.
Yeah, that was the phrase back in the day. I'll take it to your daddy, especially the ones that was there.
Right. But my children were strong-minded children.
Right.
Those children came up. You got to remember, the foundation for my sons and my daughters
Mhm.
was set in stone. That's the main thing.
Yes.
That was the beginning. That was set in stone. You have to have a strong mind. You have to teach your children to have a strong mind. My boys believed in being leaders
Mhm.
because I instilled it. I pushed that. You don't be a follower. Just if I talked to one of my kids about something that was going on, my question was, why did you do it?
Right.
And if they said, well, so-and-so did it, what? Time. You're not a follower. You're going to be a leader. I instilled that in my boys. I want to see leadership characteristics. I want you to move and I want you to own it. If you do something wrong,
Right.
and it's out of place, I need you to own it. And when you come to me, please don't lie to me. That's
Right.
always, don't tell me no lie, because I'm going to be there for you. But if I start catching you in a lie, you cannot get me to the point where I am going to be in your corner.
Right.
Whatever you get, you get.
That
If you
respect
make a bed.
level is
That's
lost.
right. I don't care if you go and tell somebody else a lie.
Right.
When you come to me and I ask you, okay, so why'd you do it? Do you want to hear the truth, or do you want to hear what I'm gonna tell so and so?
Right.
Probably what you gonna tell them because it's gonna sound good. So you tell them tell me what you're gonna tell them. Then tell me the truth.
Right, yeah, tell me the truth. But I want to hear this lie that you want to.
Yeah, and with Eric,
Some
with my
Deidre
son,
came out. And, no, but with Eric, what'd you say?
with my son, Eric has always been a very focused child. He never had a whole lot of words to say, but when he did say something, he said what he knew. It wasn't a thought.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this might be. No. In fact, with Eric was little, I didn't even know the dude could talk. I'm telling you, I had them 3 kids, and I would hold him, and he would sit on my lap, and I'd actually talk to him, and he'd be looking at me, and I'm like, something is wrong with this baby. I told his dad 3 or 4 times, I'm going to have to take this boy to the doctor.
Wow.
He can't talk. I'm serious, because he started walking. He was so little when he started walking. He's walking on his knees. That's what my girlfriend used to say, get that baby off his knees. He was 9 months old. I said, he on his knees? That's just how tall he is.
Right.
He'd walk around and he'd look, and he obviously was talking to his siblings, because I said, I'm going to have to take him to the doctor. Why, Mom? I said, because he can't talk. He talked to us. I never heard him talk. When I took him to the doctor, you know what the doctor told me?
What?
He just doesn't have anything to say right now.
Right now.
That was it. He didn't have anything. Says nothing wrong with his vocal cords. He just doesn't have anything to say. But when he decided he wanted to talk, he would just say it like it was.
Right.
It came out. That was it. And let's move on. Eric has always been a very strong-minded individual.
Yes.
My sons, they in themselves, this is one thing I'm very proud of. They have a leadership quality, and they portray that to their children.
Yes, they do.
Like, this is going to happen. I know my son, he played a tough love with his children, his kids. Here's this. This is what's going to happen. And if you're not going to follow this, you're not going to follow it all.
Right.
There's not going to be 2 parents in this house and both of them be me and you. It's going to be me and his wife. Of course, she got the last say. We already know.
So what would you think of Eric today?
What do I think of him today? I am so proud of my son. I have no idea. I didn't think that he would come to this point. I knew eventually.
Yeah.
Because he's stubborn. Very stubborn. Used to be really, really stubborn. I used to think, this boy's so much like his daddy.
Right.
And the other kids used to tell me, like, his siblings never was worried about him. This is my brother, you know. They love him.
So he was always the protector.
He was always, Eric was always, like, I don't know how to put it. He walked in that line where he didn't need correction. And if you did correct him, he wanted to challenge it. Trust me, we bumped heads when that challenge came up, but I still let him know, I'm still your mama. So when it comes down to it, you're still going to listen to me, regardless of what.
And I just recently got off the phone a couple days ago because I wanted to check on my other brother Marcus because of all the stuff that's going down in Florida.
Yeah,
you know, that's really crazy. You know, what is it? Hurricane Milton? Mm-hmm. Milton? No, I always got to say that when I hear it.
Issues too.
What?
I'm saying, you know.
Yeah, I got you. But, I'm just... Anyway, checked on him and got off the phone with him. How you feel, man, about him being down there? Yeah. And he say he's safe. I don't know how true that is, but if he's still able to call and stuff like that, I guess he's safe right now. I got a sister down there too, actually. It's rough, it's terrible down there.
Yeah,
you know. But Marcus, he's always been a strong one too. I like his turnaround. You know,
I did too, because it was Marcus. I was very, I questioned whether or not that he was gonna be able to just fit in with the flow.
Right. Because
Marcus had that. I don't know what it was. he had that devilish devilish characteristic about him that kept him
right.
in trouble.
At first, you know.
Quietly, but he was always in trouble. But he can tell you himself.
Right.
You know, when it came down to it, and I said, hey, if you ever go to jail, I mean, first time I want to be there.
Yeah.
Second time, I don't care how you kick, scratch, and curse. I'm not going to come there because if you fool me once,
shame on you.
shame on you. But if you fool me twice,
right, yeah.
I am going to look real bad. So
right.
it's not going to happen. So, and that did happen with Marcus. Marcus went to jail a second time.
Mm-hmm.
But in there, he did accomplish something.
Oh.
For one, when they say this is supposed to be a correctional facility,
right.
it only works to correct their behavior and their attitude if they have a mindset.
Mindset to be
and
corrected.
he did because he wrote a book in there. And when he got out, he had done a complete 360.
Yes, I know. I know. That's my guy, and I seen it. And I'm proud of him also, you know what I'm saying? And I tell him that a lot, you know. So, being said, you know me a lot, a long time. Gave me a nickname. Well, Karen gave me the nickname.
Jarvis.
It just stuck. It just stuck. Jarvis. But how would you think about me? I mean, I know I had my mess ups too, you know.
But it was so strange because with you, Johnny, Eric, David, Marcus, Greg,
right,
my
all of
oldest
us.
son, I used to say my children.
Right.
That was all my kids because I can never ever think back and remember a night when I went to bed where I didn't have a house full of kids.
Man.
I always did, and it was just so normal.
Right.
That it would be abnormal to walk through my house and there wasn't somebody else there.
Right.
But I know when you and Eric were, y'all bonded. Y'all were very close.
Oh, that's
and
my
with
guy.
the other kids, you guys were just there. Who is Jarvis? Jarvis, that's my other son. And if someone had stopped to ask the question, did you have him? No, I didn't, but me and his mom share custody.
Yeah. Me and his mama share custody.
We share custody, and David's mom, and Johnny's mom. You know, we were mother-in-laws in that respect. And we definitely did work hard with you guys. I mean, with you had your little thing where you were living with Eric, and Eric was playing that mentor to you, trying to keep you on a path. I used to watch.
Yep.
And I saw that I was so surprised when I heard once that you had an apartment. I said, are you sure? Because he's with Eric all the time. So are you sure? Yeah, he got a place to stay. Really?
Yep. Really?
So I felt like you guys, y'all hung in there. You may have I'm sure y'all had y'all little trouble things that y'all were doing. But the thing is, unlike now, it never hit home. You guys were in your mischief. And you might say, with your mischief that you guys got into, it helped you guys to establish a baseline.
Right.
Because you took what you could do to find out what it was that you didn't want to do and you wouldn't do. So it's never ever what you can't, it's what you will. See, society, and I've told my kids this all the time, I always told y'all, society, here is the schoolhouse is where you're going to get supposed to be all this other stuff. Yeah. But your biggest benefactor when it comes to the education is going to be the word.
Yeah.
Because so many things going to come at you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's left up to you to pull out what belongs to you and what's going to work for you and benefit you.
Right.
And leave the other alone.
Right. It's all about your get up.
It is.
Like
and
if you fall down, it's all about how you get up.
Try it again. Let's try something different. And that was Eric, and that was you. That was Johnny. That was David.
Mm-hmm.
That was all of you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I never could see Eric without seeing you, and it was just really something. Where Jarvis at? Where?
On that note, it's been a fabulous time with you. You know, I'm glad I came over here, got to talk with you.
I'm glad to see you too, baby.
On the real, you will see more of me and the show and everything else.
That's
know,
good to
so
hear.
anytime you got your opinions or what you want to give us to improve on the show, then yeah.
I got a voice. I'll
I
definitely
know you
use
do.
it. You can attest
I
to
know
that.
you do. I know it. Many nights, Jarvis. Right. So I just wanted to say to all the mothers right now, I know it's not Mother's Day, but I want to thank you for being in his life and giving him the tools to guide through life and be the man that he is today. You know, and for me too, because you was always there for me too. So I
And
want to
that's the
thank you.
thing about it. Love you, baby.
I love
Y'all
you too.
take it easy.
Right, and I stand on that. So everybody, hug your mama. If she's still here, hug her.
There you go.
Peace.